Hi, Nancy.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Well, we're season 1, episode 20 of the Front Porch Book Club.
Woohoo! The Front Porch Book Club is a podcast that meets twice a month.
And we like to dig deep into the relationship between characters and the worlds they live in.
Grab your book and iced tea and join us on the front porch.
Linny, it is 2022. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Nats.
What's the best way to start off a new year?
Not with a weight loss goal.
No. No.
Or a gym goal.
No, it's with a funny book.
Oh, good answer. I like your... You're so funny. That's a really good answer. I like that. Well, you know, Nancy, we got a funny book today to talk about.
What?
All right. Well, we've been laughing here.
Yeah.
And this book is called We'll Laugh About This Someday.
Right.
I don't know about you, but this is a book that is a laugh aloud book. I caught myself laughing out loud laying on the sofa reading this book.
Yeah.
I wonder what my husband thought of me, just like laughing out loud at nothing. The author, Anna Lind Thomas, talks about her life as a child, as a young adult, dating, getting married, having children, being a mom, all things that I can relate to.
Yeah.
She shares real life situations.
Right.
The situations, I would say, maybe aren't so comical when you're going through them.
Right.
But she decided that she'll laugh about this someday, which is perfect for the book. And later, as she's retelling the story, it's hilarious.
And then she does really have some hard things in the book too. It's not just a laugh, right? I mean, she talks about the miscarriages that she's had and some scars she suffered in childhood. It's just this wonderful memoir about Anna Lind Thomas's life.
Right.
I learned about her when I signed up for a virtual meeting, and she happened to be one of the speakers. And as soon as she started talking, she's just such a funny person. And I thought, oh, well, we definitely need to kick off our new year with a good dose of humor.
Oh, that's very appropriate. And that's funny that she's a funny person in real life, because I was wondering as she goes through, just life is full of ups and downs. You know, childbirth to me is nothing to be laughing about.
Right.
I think it's just a miserable experience. I don't understand women who think that it was wonderful, but to me, it was just miserable.
Yeah.
But anyway, through all of the ups and downs, as she's going through them, I don't know that she sees them as humorous. It's when she's looking back that she draws humor into it. So to hear that she's really kind of a funny person is interesting to me. I didn't really catch her as that kind of a person. She seemed more reflective, but that's awesome. I look forward to meeting with her.
Yeah, I think she's one of those people with just kind of a funny personality, you know, who kind of always has just a fun way of looking at life.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to meeting her too.
Have you read any humorous books, Nancy?
I do not read a lot of humor books. I remember many, many decades ago, I read an Irma Bombeck book. Do you remember Irma Bombeck?
Yes, I do.
Okay, but I have to say, I was a very young child. I'm not so old that I was reading Irma Bombeck as an adult. That may be the last humor book that I've read. How about you, Lenny? Do you read many humor books?
I don't think I've read any.
Really?
Now, I did read that Trevor Noah book.
Yeah.
Born a Crime, and he's just funny. He gets my funny bone every time. And he finds humor in the mundane and the tragic.
Yeah.
I mean, even the title of the book is enough to pick it up and read.
Yeah.
But that's probably the only book I can really think of that's really a humor book. I wish I had been exposed to more growing up. It seemed like the books that I had to pull and forced to read on the shelf growing up in school were horrible books like Hiroshima. How is that on a book list for children? Helen Keller. I made it one page and started crying. These are not books for me. Somebody should have books of humor on the school list. Oh, and all those old English books that you can't hardly read and Shakespeare. People need to put some funny books on there. Maybe I would have liked reading as a child if I had been exposed to this fun stuff.
We should talk to all of our friends who teach English in school and advocate for today's children.
I'm advocating for it right now over the air. Bring some humorous books.
More humor for our children.
It just should be fun and laughing. Maybe kids would read more than, I don't know. This book was funny. I enjoyed reading it very much. I just laughed and laughed through it.
One of the things I like about Anna's book, she does not make fun of other people. This is not humor at other people's expense. She does find her family very funny, but it's mostly she makes herself the butt of most of the jokes. And I think she does such a wonderful job of taking life as it comes and not taking especially small things so seriously. That was a really helpful reinforcement for me. Not everything has to be number 10 on the emotional level. No. You know.
What came to my mind when you were saying that is she gives birth to her little baby and she sends her husband out to get food and she's eating a Whopper or something and the sauce is dripping on the baby's head and she just kind of looks down and goes, yeah, this is going to happen a lot. And she kind of wipes it and keeps chopping on the burger. I thought that was hilarious.
That really was.
When you said that, that reminded me perfectly of, there's the sauce. It's going to happen a lot.
I'm going to be holding you and I'm going to be eating.
Yes. Might as well get used to it.
Oh, that was funny. So was there anything reading Anna's book that made you think of funny things that you were a part of growing up or even in adulthood?
I don't know that I had any strong parallels to my growing up and her, except for her little band of friends. You have your little friends that you're hanging out with. What about you, Nance? Was there something there that struck you?
You're going to think this is terrible.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to laugh.
I don't know. Because I was reading it and I was thinking about funny things that happened to you growing up.
Oh, please share.
Okay. So I thought if this had happened to Anna, it would have definitely been in the book. Do you remember your first class freshman year of college?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I remember this horrible story. I'm in an 090 class. Not bright enough to take a college level course because I need remediation, apparently. And English. And it's not only bad that I had to take one 090 class, I had to take two 090 classes with the other kids that were just gracious enough to have someone accepted us into college. We better go there. And you know what? I can laugh about it now. Because the story, would you like to tell the story? I jumped in on you.
No, you have to tell the story.
Only I could tell this story. And again, I guess this is life, right? What Anna's saying, like at the time you don't laugh about it. But I was so mortified because I didn't know if I was going to make it in college. Like I didn't have a great track record in high school. I was just glad somebody was going to take my money and let me go to state school.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody accepted me. I applied one place and they said, okay. And I said, that's where I'm going then, you know. And it's a little humiliating to be in an 090 class, but certainly that's where I belonged. And the professor was going around, first day of class. I don't even know what I'm doing there. And he's trying to get to know everybody, I guess, break the ice because we're a bunch of scared freshmen. And I said where I lived, Woolwich, charming little town. Oh, Woolwich, I've heard of that. What county is that in? Now, I know something about fight or flight now that I didn't know that. And that is that your cognitive ability diminishes greatly if you're stressed out. I was stressed and I could not think of the county. that I came from. It was so awful. And I just sat there and it was like the brain shut off. Because I was so stressed out. And I couldn't remember. And I just said some pitiful thing like, I just can't remember, or something like that. And he was gracious enough to move on to the next person. Do you know, I was so stressed out about that next period, I went to a regular college class, mind you, and it was health, and I still couldn't remember. It wasn't until a couple hours later,
wow,
that the name of the county came back. Like that's how you know the fight or flight and anxiety diminishes cognitive ability, because I was really petrified being in college.
Yeah.
But I can laugh about now. It's hilarious. Oh yeah, I do have lots of those stories, Nancy. I'm full of them. Maybe I should write a book about growing up as Linda. Because I got some doozies. Hey, maybe I can give Anna some material for her next book.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, dear me. I do have a lot of them, don't I?
You do have a lot of funny stories. I don't know why you have so many funny stories, but I think you have a lot of funny stories.
I think I live life to the fullest. And maybe I wasn't always... Maybe I didn't always think of consequences. I don't know. You know, Anna's going to be fun to talk to. I'll have to let her know on the side if she's looking for material, just come my way, because I bet she can say these stories funnier than I can.
Yeah, she has a really funny way of telling the stories. You know, she completely draws you in. So what was the section that made you laugh the hardest, do you think, in her book?
To no surprise, we have all dated.
Yes.
And it's completely a vulnerable experience.
Yeah.
So yes, her dating.
Yeah.
Where she eats and then her stomach starts doing flip-flops. And I have been there and done that too, to the point where you're sweating because of the pain and the stomach rolls and the gas and feeling like I'm going to have an accident right here, right now. I've got to find the bathroom. So her story with this guy that she just meets, and how sweet is he?
Yes, very sweet.
She's not only passing gas in his car and they're rolling down the river. When he says, I can taste it. Oh, I can taste it. I can taste it. She is mortified. They're rolling down the window. That's when I was laughing out loud. I thought this was hilarious. She runs up, gets in her apartment, all breaks loose in the bathroom, plops and splashes.
And then he's outside the door.
She doesn't realize he's outside. Are you okay?
Because she's
mortified.
She accidentally left the apartment door open in her rush to get to the bathroom. He follows her up to be sure she's okay.
I'm going to say, I walk out there and go, if you're still here, I probably need to marry you, because who in the world would put up with any of that on your first date? And here they are married.
Yep.
He hung in there. I think, bless you. Bless you. He sounds like a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite section, Nan?
I think that was really funny too. I think when I was reading that, tears were literally rolling down my cheek.
Because again, it's a great example, because it's not funny at the time.
No.
You're like going, oh my golly, I'm gonna lose it right here in the car, you know?
Yeah. I loved her story about basically getting lost hiking with her girlfriend.
Oh, yes.
And how unprepared they were, but they looked really cute.
They had their backpack and their water, Nance.
Yeah, and maybe an energy bar or something. And they get...
People are looking at them strangely as they're walking by.
And it's supposed to be a 3-hour hike. After 3 hours, her girlfriend looks at the map and says, oh, whoops. No, it's a 3-day hike. And And they realize they're going to freeze to death if they don't get back to the car before sundown. And then they start hearing, wild animals in the brush and everything else.
And it's getting dark, and they realize that it's going to take them 6 hours because they had been going downhill the whole way. Oh, we're in a valley now. Oh my goodness, it's going to take us 6 hours. We have an hour of sunlight.
Right. And they don't have any flashlights or anything.
No.
So.
No. I don't even know if they're in sweatshirts. They're just,
I think they're in little shorts and t-shirts or something.
Well, they were going to take a little day hike and then go get something to eat, right? Say, we worked out, so now we can eat the French fries.
Right.
I can splurge.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, her and her friend hiking, that was hilarious.
Yeah. It just made me think of the crazy things you get into with friends.
Yeah.
One person thinks one thing, the other person just, okay, well, that's fine.
Yep.
The slow dawning terror that something has gone terribly wrong.
No wonder those guys looked at us like, are they? They're not very prepared.
And they had full packs on and boots.
And they weren't talking. And that's the sign, like when we're so tired you can't talk. And here come these two little girls. Woohoo! We're going on a walk in the woods. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Oh my golly.
Yeah.
Funny parts. The whole labor and delivery thing. Oh my golly. I laughed so hard at that too.
Yeah, one of the things she talks about, I thought was funny, is she's getting ready to deliver. So they're in the hospital, and she says to her husband, could you move that pillow from between my legs? And he says, there's no pillow between your legs. She looks down in horror. It's her thighs. She says her big, fluffy thighs felt like a pillow. I think everyone's looked down at their thighs at some point in their life. Wondered what's going on.
And here's the thing. When you're that pregnant, you can't see your thighs. All you see is this baby inside of you. There's no looking at thighs.
That's a good point.
It's not until after you deliver that you go, hey, none of the weight came off. What's going on here? I thought the 30 pounds I gained was baby. Oh no, that was just 7. What? I remember my first Weight Watchers meeting after I got, what? Why did they tell me to get 30 pounds? 7 came off. What is this extra weight on here? And the lady goes, I know, isn't it terrible? That's what she said. I don't know why they tell you to gain that.
Oh my goodness.
Like, what is all this extra stuff on here?
The baby should have just liposuctioned that out.
Well, that, as far as I'm concerned, that should be a part of the health insurance after you give birth.
One of her themes is her struggle with her weight. And she says she was a fluffy child.
Which is, I've never heard that term, but I like that.
I like that too. Fluffy. And she's been fluffier or less fluffy throughout adulthood. It's good to be able to laugh about the ups and downs of trying to be a woman in America.
Right, yeah. Well, her mom's a health nut. And so.
Right.
She's over the edge health nut. Like, where did she grow up and what? Like, she's over the edge. You know, her dad sneaks her chocolate once in a while, you know. But
yeah, she said her mom was like churning butter and grinding grain. And this would have been back in the 70s or 80s. Like now, you know, people do that stuff, but that not so much in the 70s and 80s.
Not so much. There's certainly that newer kind of new agey.
That's true. There was a little subculture.
There was a little subculture that never hit our family because we had tricks and Lucky Charms and all the good stuff.
Yep. The more processed, the better.
Absolutely.
There's really no reason to cook anything from scratch if someone's already gone to the trouble to make it for you. And all you have to do is pop it in the oven.
Hey, I'm all about it even today. It's like, yeah, that's good. I didn't raise my child that way. I did feel bad though, because it was some Pop Tarts in the morning and that kind of stuff for my son. But yeah, I think I actually made him a home cooked meal for breakfast once, because it was the big testing. Everybody's supposed to eat a healthy breakfast because they're going to test the kids, for the state. And I think he got sick. It's like, no. In this house, we do like a slice of pizza in the morning for breakfast, some Lucky Charms, mac and cheese. We don't do the whole big breakfast thing. Oh my golly. Well, one of the funnier themes, well, I think woman can relate to this too, is how she is going to navigate between her own ambitions and that of motherhood.
Yeah.
And her relationship through her husband. Now, her husband seemed very supportive of her not having a job and her following her dreams of being a writer. But again, serious topics that most women can relate to, and just kind of how she's juggling everything too. Did you have any thoughts on that, Nance?
Yeah, I thought another funny story from after she had her baby. I think it was also while the husband was out on a run to get her some real food because the hospital food was not going to cut it. So that she has her beautiful little baby in her arms, and the first thing she does is get on her phone and check how many likes the picture she's posted of her beautiful baby has gotten, and she's outraged, thinking that there were several people who she knew who had not yet liked her adorable baby. And she kind of goes into this spiral of, oh, why wouldn't they like her? This is clearly the most beautiful baby that's ever been born. And wait a second, I don't think they've liked quite a number of things I posted recently. And she just gets into this spiral. And it's not till days later that she realizes she unfriended them a year ago.
I appreciate that part of her, that she just puts it out there like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that she cares very much about what other people think of her. I think we all care very much about what people think of us, but she's just more honest with herself. But she definitely cares about what other people think about her. She also talks about her faith, and how that has been an important part of her life. And she has these anxieties about, is she odd? Does she have friends? Kind of her fitting in and how she manages things. But she does lean on God to help her through. And like I said, it's funny because you're laughing really hard through some of the book like we're doing. But then there's some parts that are really endearing and very honest about what people go through in life. Mm-hmm. That I think anybody can relate to.
Yeah, I thought the story she told about starting a fear box, because she just felt like there were so many things she was afraid of in life and had so many anxieties. So she took all of the 3x5 index cards she could find in the house and just started writing a fear on each one until she couldn't think of any more fears. And she put them in her fear box. And it was everything from, we're going to starve as a family because she's trying to get a writing career going, or her husband's in nursing school and she will never be a good writer, to she's going to die, all the fears. And she puts it away. And around that same time, they were renting a house that she just loved. And the idea was maybe someday they'd be able to buy that house. But in the meantime, the housing market had really gone on fire, and they had not paid attention to the lease where they were supposed to notify the owner in a certain amount of time that they wanted to continue on renting the place. And so the owner took advantage of that and said, okay, you haven't notified me, so you need to vacate the house in 30 days. And then, clearly the owner was going to be able to rent it to another family at a higher price. So of course she was very upset because it was just the perfect house and they had gotten a really good rent on it. So they ended up finding another place that was really even more perfect ultimately, but like with a day to spare. It was really down to the wire. Within a year, that poor other house had been washed away by some floods we had here in Nebraska. And she happened to find her fear box, and she realized that God is going to take care of her and her family.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to carry all these fears. Although I did worry about the poor family who then moved to that house and had their house washed away from under them.
Right.
a nice story that carrying fear is, you're carrying a lot more probably than you need to carry.
Yeah, her mom was kind of helpful in helping her to kind of bring her back off of the ledge and let her know that you're going to survive this and you're going to look back and know that you're just fine. It reminds me of the story she told about her mom moving into not her dream house.
Yes, they'd lost everything through some sort of business situation.
Yeah, she remembers that her mom was not okay. Her mom was crying. And she was trying to clean up a oil stain. Then she realizes, no, wait a minute, as the parent, my kids are going to take the message from me and how I handle life's ups and downs. It's just that generational thing of how am I raising my kids and what messages do I want to give them? But her realization that she can have an impact on the way, how she goes through her life is going to impact the two little sweetie girls that she had, whether they've got mayonnaise on the top of their head or not.
Also, another starring person in her book is her sister.
Oh,
speaking of sisters.
Well, what part did you like about her sister?
So her sister is a number of years older than her. Anna came along and was kind of the baby of the family. But I loved that her sister loved her so much and took such good care of her growing up and was such a wonderful older sister. She
was a wonderful older sister. I think she was probably just a wonderful girl.
Yeah.
Because you have a number of years, she could have been like, I'm not watching her. Like she's just a baby.
Right.
But she did have an endearing older sister.
Mm-hmm.
There's a year and a half between us.
Oh, yeah. You're much older than me. Yeah. She was enough older that when Anna was taking swim lessons in her little Mickey Mouse swimsuit and her little fluffy belly, her sister had decided to come along and sit and watch because the guys who were giving the swimming lessons to these little kids were two gorgeous 18-year-old twins. So sister comes along and
she steals the show. She steals the show. That little girl jumping in the water didn't have the full attention of the lifeguards anymore.
Nope.
It's funny, that experience. And I don't know the boys have that same experience that girls do. But it is definitely like that's where their attention goes. And all of a sudden, I don't have what that person has.
Yeah. You can just feel it, right?
Yeah, you can feel it. Yep.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to welcoming Anna Lynn Thomas to the front porch next time.
I can't wait to interview her. I think it's going to be funny. I look forward to just chatting with her and getting to know her a little bit better and talking about her funny book. We'll laugh about this someday.
Right.
Anna Lynn Thomas. So funny. So stop by the next time and we will chat with Anna.
You can get in touch with us by going to our website at frontporchbookclub.com.
Our episodes come out twice a month, first and third Wednesdays of each month. If you like the show, leave a review. And Nancy and I are also starting to turn our wheels about season number 2. So if you have any books that you would like us to talk about, authors you'd like us to meet, please put those on our website so that we can look those over for our annual summit.
Oh, that's right.
To talk about season 2.
I think next year the summit should take place in Hawaii or something.
Oh, okay. I'm coming. Sounds good, Nance.
Great. See you next time, Lenny.
Okay. See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.